Hello and welcome. We'll be getting started in just a moment's time. Excellent. Okay, well, I think we've had an extra couple come in, so we'll get started. Hello and welcome to the dual BSB 40320 Certificate for an Entrepreneurship and New Business and the FNS 40217 Certificate for in Accounting and Bookkeeping Dual Qualification Student Information Session. Very, very excited to be providing some information and some background about this particular course. Brand new, very applicable. And look, we're really excited in getting it out there to our potential students and candidates. With me today, I have Iona McKinney and Bianca Miller. Iona and Bianca, welcome.
Welcome. Hello. Iona James. Good morning, everyone.
Excellent. Okay, well, look, let's get started. And Iona, you're the first person that I'm going to hand on over to this morning to provide us a little bit of background on this particular course and perhaps some of the skills and I suppose the outline of where this qualification or dual qualification, I should say, is going.
Okay, thanks, James. This qualification's been developed really as a result of demand. We here at Mentor have been delivering the certificate for in accounting and bookkeeping for quite a long time now. But one of the things that we often hear from our students is that they'd like to learn more about business skills and business tasks and things that they do in a business. So what we've done is we've designed this course for a whole range of things that we do, either working with small businesses or running our own business or setting up our own business. So we know that there's a lot of different tasks that we do, especially in the first couple of years of running our own business, of working with new businesses and starting up new businesses. And they're often things that people learn as they go. So what we've done is we've listened to our students and we've had a lot of put a lot of research into how we develop a course for people that are wanting to work in this space, especially with accounting and bookkeeping, because we know a number of people are either working in their own small businesses, they're about to start a new business, or they're working as a consultant or wanting to set up a bookkeeping consultancy. So the course has a really broad range of things that relate not just to business but to accounting and bookkeeping. So we look at business planning and technology and the use of technology and how we set up new systems, for example. We look at social media, how to do all of those bookkeeping things, how to create a BAS, how to manage accounts payroll, accounts payable, how to set up and manage a payroll. So we look at this wide range of things in the course, and of course, as part of the study program, students also complete their BAS Agent accreditation requirements as well.
Excellent. Thanks, Iona. So what we're seeing here really with it being a dual qualification is it provides not just the accounting and bookkeeping competencies, but the skills and knowledge that you would accompany with those to either operate your own business or perhaps operate a bookkeeping and accounting division inside a larger organisation. So you really get those peripheral business management skills or business startup skills in addition to those core accounting and bookkeeping skills.
Yeah, very much so. Things like social media we don't often get to look at with when we're, for example, working with a range of small businesses. But we might need to manage the social media platform and manage the invoicing and things like that. And that's just one small example. James, I wonder, could we just go to the next slide and we'll talk about the units, which of course will help explain what we're talking about here. So there's a number of core units which are the core skills and core knowledge that we need to complete for both these qualifications. But as I mentioned before, the course is designed for people who want to learn more about business and business knowledge, and rather than just bookkeeping and accounting. So we look at researching and developing business plans, and there's always a number of accounting tasks in those. Risk management and new business ventures. Planning finance for new business, which is very, very important when we consider that we also have to keep the books, and we also have to do our tax, the reporting for the ATO as well. Reporting on financial activity, and using digital technologies to collaborate in the workplace, which is very, very important. We know our world of work is changing, and as we're working in a number of, or just about all contexts now, we look at the different technology that we might be utilizing in an accounting and bookkeeping, or from an accounting and bookkeeping perspective, and how we introduce new systems and adopt new technology into that context. We also look at investigating business opportunities. I mentioned before social media, how to run business meetings, because often we might have a meeting that we have to attend and we have to report to that is very much about the finances, the finance reports we need to generate, and so on and so forth. Emotional intelligence is what they refer to as a transferable skill. So in this course, we have a number of transferable skills as well, which are skills that you don't just utilize. You might not just utilize when you're working as an accountant, bookkeeper, or in a small business, or starting a small business, but those skills go with you in your world of work everywhere. So we look at analysis skills and how to develop concepts, and concept development is very important because it feeds into our new business opportunities. We then need to create, of course, the proposals for those new business opportunities. So it's a very, very, very exciting course, as it takes up, as we said before, not just opportunities for people wanting to start their own business as an accountant, from an accounting and bookkeeping perspective, but also people that are working with small businesses so that they can develop deeper knowledge about how small businesses work, but also, for those people that are wanting to work in a larger context. So they might be wanting to work with an accounting practice, and accounting practices often have a range of small businesses that are their clients. So the course is applicable in a number of contexts.
Excellent. And if you could just circle back to the delivery. So up there, we've got our core units and elective units, and sometimes certainly the naming convention can be a little bit confusing, even though they are electives. You do in fact have to do them, and the way in which they're delivered. So do you just kind of pick, one that interests you, or sequential, or what's the go there?
No, but it might become very confusing if we just pick one from the middle and start there. No, students need to complete all 21 units, and the course duration is 24 months. It is self-paced, as we do discuss it in a little bit, but there's also a sequence that students will actually work through the units in, and students receive a study program, or a training plan that actually has that sequence in it. Tutorials are provided for all of the units of study. So there are two tutorials per week where students will attend a study tutorial and a study skills, or a topic tutorial. I apologise, my words won't come out straight this morning. A study skills tutorial and a topic tutorial to support their study, which again we'll talk about later. So students must complete all of the units. The course duration is 24 months. And students do have access to the classroom tutorials, both for topics and for their study skills and support, where they can ask questions. It's a whole wonderful forum that students can join in and learn more, and get to know their other classmates as well.
Excellent. Now, I'm going to give you a bit of a break, and Bianca, I'm going to hand on over to you. Now, as an education advisor, you have the privilege of speaking with potential candidates and students each and every day. Okay, talk to us a little bit about, I suppose, some of the insight that you gather for students coming in, doing the accounting and bookkeeping qualifications. What sort of backgrounds they're from, of course. What are some of the benefits that they're seeing by taking on qualifications in this stream?
Thanks, James and Iona. So basically, my students come from all walks of life. I have students who are retiring and want a career change, and they want something where they can do a course where they can choose their own hours. For example, someone I spoke to yesterday is traveling around Australia in their caravan, and they want to use it as like a supplementary financial, so they can choose their hours and pick it. And also mums working from home, wanting to get back into the workforce and not able to necessarily go out physically because they've got young kids. They do that, and it's a good way to get in, and they can manage and help small businesses and choose their own hours and contracting. I've also got a lot of people that run their own businesses, like tradies or their partners. Tradies, a lot of people do it as a way of managing their own finances and knowing what they can claim and what their financial income is, like GST and BAS, for example. So a lot of small business owners, a lot of workplaces or businesses, because there are a lot of small businesses within Australia. I think we've got one of the highest in the world. I'm not sure 100%, but we've got a lot of small businesses. A lot of them say it helps them financially because they didn't know before where their cash flow was going in and out. And a lot of the time, a lot of workplaces, even NDIS, a lot of national disability insurance schemes, they require this as for their work. So the growth and development in this area for small business management is pretty high. For example, the average salary, according to SEEK, June 2021, for bookkeepers was 65K. And that's from my perspective and what I've spoken to students, is actually above that. And job satisfaction is 4.4 out of 5. And the relevant industries that people come from, obviously, are small business, business administration, asset and maintenance, and account and bookkeeping. And you can do like BAS, payroll, account clerk, payroll officer, etc. BAS agents are really good in accordance to the Tax Practitioner Board, and the relevant occupations, obviously, small business manager, consultancy, small business manager, franchise, small business manager, owner, operator, accounts, officer, and bookkeeper. So basically, the benefits of doing this is it's going to help your financial return, knowing what you can claim, what you can't claim, knowing things that you didn't know before, how to manage your staff, just knowing how to use MyOb and the accounts and ledgers of financial transactions, and obviously the entrepreneurial side, which I'm also learning, and Iona will explain as we go through. Thank you.
Thanks, Bianca. So at this stage, we've got a bit of an idea as to, I suppose, what the outcomes of this particular course are, some of the applications where it can be used. Let's have a look at how it's delivered and some of the learning materials that students will get exposed to. Iona, over to you.
Okay, thanks, James. There's a broad range of learning materials that students are provided with for this course. There is no additional materials to purchase, and there is no software to purchase. It is all provided. So we have a range of textbooks. We have learner guides, video, audio, so similar to a podcast recording that students will listen to in some units. Students are actually exposed to accounting software and business management software and administrative system software throughout the course, depending on the unit that they're studying. And students also will have access to, as we mentioned before, the virtual tutorials, which are recorded live, and students are able to either attend a live session or watch recordings later. And students also have the opportunity in those sessions to get to know the other students studying the course and begin to develop their own professional network. So there is a very broad range of learning materials that ranges from the software that could be used all the way through to textbooks and video and PowerPoints.
Excellent. And that, of course, is all included. So there's no additional fees or anything like that for access to textbooks or whatever it may be, all included. So let's continue on with this learning materials onto the assessments. Now, What I'm going to put up in front of you is quite a broad range of assessment activities, and it can throw the students off a little bit when they see them all up there. So first and foremost, clarify what the assessments may look like, and then perhaps do a bit of a deep dive, if you can, Iona, into what's expected from students.
Well, I have to say that slide looks a little bit scary, doesn't it? But it's not meant to be. So across all of the units of study in the course, students will undertake assessment activities that directly relate to the topics that they've been learning. So that's why we've got this long list, because this course is about small business, it is about entrepreneurship and starting a small business or working with a new startup, and it's also about accounting and bookkeeping. So there's a broad range of tasks. So commonly, students will come across short answer questions that are around about 150 words to respond to each. Long answer questions that could be up to 250 words. There's a few multiple choice quizzes, but not very many in the course. Students will respond to case studies and scenarios. But there are also projects, and there are a number of projects through the course which support students to actually undertake tasks that they would normally do in a workplace. So create a suite of financial reports, or develop their accounts receivable invoices and things like that. Payroll management, establish a payroll and complete the reporting requirements, and BAS preparation, and business planning activities as well. So these tasks are all commonly part of project tasks. So students will have an opportunity, if you like, to undertake their assessments literally as an extension of their learning. So students will have practiced doing the assessment tasks in a different context as self-directed learning activities, and then of course they'll complete their assessment activities for each unit. So here at Mentor Education, we consider for students that their assessment is if you like, an extension of their learning. So as much as possible, we support students to develop a wide range of skills, as well as being able to demonstrate their knowledge, and then of course show us. So the assessment activities are all made up of what we can see here on the screen.
And certainly very closely aligned to what you'd actually do in the real world, which I think is exciting. And probably another point to emphasise is the idea of assessment feedback. So there are obviously cases where students won't get it 100% the first time around, at which point they are provided with detailed assessment feedback and provided an opportunity to resubmit their work if they need to, whatever it may be. And really that's done in a really, I think, supportive way. And there's no additional fees or anything like that for students, is there?
No, most definitely not. We do not charge for resubmissions, and we do not charge for extensions here at Mentor Education. We understand that students at any point of their study, or at any point of our lives really, we can experience challenges that delay things. And we like to support our students to have a successful outcome of their study, not necessarily introduce a punitive element, which is paying for something that they may have been struggling with and needed additional assistance. So no, there are no course extension fees, and there are no resubmission fees for assessments. Having said that, I will focus for just a moment, James, on students needing support. There are a number of different ways that students are supported here at Mentor Education, and we do encourage all students to contact us, whatever the challenge is, and we'll work with you to find a solution to that. And if it is a challenge with an assessment task or even a self-directed learning activity, we'll work with you to actually ensure that you develop the skill and knowledge, and often we do that on a one-to-one basis as well. So the other thing I suppose that it's important to mention here is that students don't wait 2 weeks to be contacted from an educator. Commonly it's within 24 to 48 hours of contacting us.
Excellent. So that brings us on to the next point, which is the online learning experience. Now, Bianca, I'm going to hand on over to you. We have students who are very familiar with online learning and some which are completely new. So take us through from beginning to end as to what an online experience would look like, what students should expect, and of course, what resources they should have access to take advantage of it.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Iona and James. I appreciate that. So, to be honest with you, because there's no textbooks that you need to purchase, which is really good because that helps with costing and things like that. As you were saying before, there's no additional fees whatsoever, but the online learning facility is really useful. The platform in itself is very user-friendly. A lot of my students tell me that they've been on done online learning before, or they may be new and they've found it hard to navigate. This is people friendly. It's students centric and it's putting you at the core of everything that we do. And that's why we say excite your potential. So basically when you go in there, there's like a getting started area and you've got all your units like listing on the left-hand side, and you can go in there and have a look at it. Now you'll have your course material there, and it's also, you can download your PDFs. You can also study it within your own time. You can put in a request via email in the online student services, which can go directly to the student support team and the trainers with any queries you have. Also, the materials are easy to understand, to navigate, and it's accessible via smart device. And you can also download it. So if you don't have access at that point in time to internet, like let's say you're out of range, or I've got people that are working off-site, like mining, submarines, like you name it. So you can download your course material. Obviously, you do need Microsoft Office, Excel, Word, reliable internet, desktop computer or laptop. You can do your readings on your smartphone or your Android or whatever you call it. That's really user-friendly. But you do need the basics of literacy and numeracy, and we call it an online self-paced learning management system, which is basically, we prefer internet. Chrome is a really good way to use, and it's good because a lot of people that are employed learn more about how they're doing and formalizing their skills. So basically it's accessible, it's flexible to you and how you can gain your student support. So as we're saying before, the learning materials also have the option of virtual tutorials, which are user friendly. So you can't get much better than that. So yeah, enjoyable. It's a people friendly platform.
Excellent, thanks Bianca. Look, probably just going back to that idea of accessibility, it was no accident that you made mention of submarines and mines, was it? Because
no,
we've actually had students from all over the world on all
yes.
sorts of platforms and vessels, it would seem, access our online learning system. So I think that's really testament just to how accessible it really is.
Absolutely.
Now, talk to us a little bit more about the course duration, Bianca, of course being 24 months, but what does the support look like as well? So what are some of the steps that students would go through in order to get access to support?
So what I would suggest to students is that our trainers are here to help you and support you in everything that you do. Particularly if you've got any learning or abilities or any kind of format that you need and you might struggle in that area. Not to say, basically, it's not you that has a disability. Society hasn't provided you support that you need. So it's about addressing your needs and attending to your needs and what you need. Because if you have the right support, you can flourish in whatever you do. So it's empowerment for you, and we want to be there to help you along that journey. We want the experience to be people friendly. We want to assist you and guide you through the process. It's not about telling you what to do. It's helping you to achieve the best outcome because you have the strengths and resources within you to have the best outcome to meet your objectives. At the end of the day, the trainers are here to support you. The student support team are here to support you. I'm here to support you. And you just call the number on our website, the 1300 306 146, or you can email your inquiries to service@mentor.edu. Even use our chat function, mentor.edu, and there's a little pop-up browser you can type in your questions. But the student support team will be able to assist you. The trainers are here to support you. And it's 24 months self-paced. There's no minimum time frame to complete it in. I would estimate 10 to 12 hours a week of study. However, if one week you don't have as many hours available, you make it up the next week. As we said before, communication is number one key. Call or email if you have any questions about anything. Don't assume things. We're here to support you. We want to have the best outcome. But if we don't know, it's a matter, it is self-paced learning, but that's why the online forums and the tutorials are really useful, because you're facilitating with other students. You learn about assessments. It keeps you motivated. It's like a real life classroom experience as if you're physically there. So I cannot stress enough, the tutorials are very, very useful. Phone and email support are there for you, and we want to make your experience amazing. But yeah, we're here to support you.
Excellent. Thanks, Bianca. And look, whilst I've got you, I've just got a list of questions that often come up from students. If you'd be kind enough to take us through those, that'd be fantastic.
So can you get government funding? The answer is no, because we're a fee for service. So basically we do have options of payment plans. All you need to do is call or email or even go in the chat function, speak to an education, well, you speak to a student support team advisor and they'll put you through to us as an education advisor. My name's Bianca. You can request me. I'm more than happy to assist you with any questions regarding payment plans, upfront specials, special like that. When can you start? Once you enroll, you pretty much start straight away that business day. If you enroll before 5, if it's after 5, it'll be the following business day. So immediately, so really good. Is it all extra fees for assessments? No. If you need help with assessments, you just call and ask and you'll get feedback, really detailed feedback from the trainers. And you can also seek that clarification if you need further questions asked of. And as Ayana was saying, we'll be flexible around your additional supports. If you need any help, we're here to support. You just need to let us know what's going on. The earlier, the better. Don't just leave it 6 months. Communication, as I was saying before, is key. And I stress that to my students. So it makes your experience a lot better. Sorry. What's the difference between different study options? Well, online self-paced is where you've got, you do it in your own time, but you don't have tutorials. But I think that it's saying the tutorials were included in this course, which is amazing. My students have so much good feedback about the tutorials. I cannot stress that enough, like the experience, the engagement, and how much they've understood it better. And it gives them a stronger grasp with the core concepts and applying theory to practice. They get it and it helps them immensely with everything they do. So yeah, is the course nationally accredited? Yes, it is. In every state and territory in Australia, under the Australian qualification framework, you get a hard copy and soft copy upon completion. So it's real time. We're on training.gov.au, so you can apply it anywhere, every place in every state and territory within Australia. Are the prerequisites? Well, yes, you do need to have numeracy and literacy. If you are under 18, you'd need to do a literacy, learning and numeracy test, and you can get those forms by calling our student support team and speaking to us as an education advisor. And obviously, computer, laptop, Microsoft Office, Excel, Word, reliable internet. But yeah, just communicate, call us up. We'll be able to assist you in that process. And how long do people usually take to finish? Well, it's 24 months. So it depends on the hours you put in. So really 10 to 12 hours a week, maybe between 12 to 18 months. But the more hours you do, the better you'll sooner finish. But everyone's different. How quickly they work through it depends on them. So everyone's learning is dependent. So it's like, it's tentative depending on you as an individual. But yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Bianca. Now, before we wrap up today, I'm going to come back to you to, I suppose, come to talk a little bit more about that support ideal that we're very, very strong about at Mentor. And I think how that's actually reflected in the student outcomes that we saw in our NCVER report last year. So over to you.
So, yeah, look, thank you, James. I have to say that I really do enjoy talking about this. At Mentor Education, we place our students at the centre of everything we do, and our approach and our support of students and making learning accessible and supporting students to achieve their goals is often reflected in the annual Student Outcomes Report from the National Centre for Vocational Education and Research, or the NCVER. So 92% of our graduates were employed in 2020, or they enrolled in further study after training. 91.6% were satisfied with the overall quality of their training, and 90.2% of students were actually satisfied with their assessment. So I guess our commitment to our students is reflected in what we see here on the screen at the moment, in the level of support that we provide to our students very proudly, and our wider learning community, which of course isn't just about us and students. It's also about industry linkages and supporting students as alumni to access opportunities as well. So yes, we're very, very proud of our student outcomes for 2020. which again exceeded our student outcomes for 2019. So, and we would really enjoy having any students that are attending today to be part of our outcomes in 2021.
Excellent. Thanks, Iona. Now, before we go, for those who are tuning in, Bianca, what's the best, I suppose, what's the next step and what's the best way to enrol?
Well, you can enroll by following the options that we got. Well, call us 1300 306 146, speak to a student support team, say, hey, Bianca, I want to have help with enrolling into this course. Tell me about it. Well, I'm here. Anyway, we've got a number of education advisors and student advisors. I mean, student support officers to help you. Maybe I like talking to students. Sorry. So you can go online, visit www.mentor.edu.au and visit the course section under the dual certificate for in entrepreneurship and new business, certificate for in accounting bookkeeping course page, and download the enrollment form or click on it and follow the prompts, or you can download a course guide, go there, read it, give us a call. Email through to your download and complete the student enrollment form and scan and email it to courseconsultant@mentor.edu.au. Probably easier to call us or download the course guide, to be honest, because you want a conversation. You want to understand what you're getting into, just saying. And you can call the 1300 306 146 number and select option 1 for new inquiries, or for international students, +61 03 8317 03 8317 2953. That's for international students, obviously, and speak to someone like me who's dedicated, an education advisor, or chat, which is on the website, and you'll see the little pop up. But yeah, call me. Just saying. But yeah, so they're the ways you can enroll.
Okay, thanks, Bianca. So look, I think really in summary there, you can do it via email, you can do it over the phone. We've got the chat function on the website. We've got a self-directed enrolment portal. If you'd like to do it completely by yourself, you can just follow the bouncing ball, click the buttons, that'll take you straight through. Really no shortage of options there, and of course no shortage of people to speak to on just about any platform or medium. So Iona and Bianca, thank you so much for your time today. Really good to be talking about this new and exciting course, which I think is really applicable, and is, look, the skills and knowledge that come out of this are just so useful and applicable to what's going on in industry today, is, I think, really, really, truly exciting. So talking about being workplace ready, I think something like this really ticks all of those boxes. And as both of you know, business and entrepreneurship and anything like that are things that are very dear to my heart. So to see it bolted on and tied to a really, really solid skill set by way of accounting and bookkeeping, which we know is consistently in demand by industry, whether it be small business or large, sets anybody doing this course up for success, in my opinion. So with that said, thank you very much for attending today. Iona and Bianca, it was very good to have you with us. Everybody who's tuned in, thank you very much. As always, take an opportunity to excite your potential, and we look forward to seeing you as students very soon. See you later, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Bye, James
Bye,
and Iona. Have a lovely day. Thank you.